Hey, welcome to the Innovation Series brought to you by ThinkLA. I'm Marcus Wesson, co-vice president of ThinkLA. And this series is all about shining a light and speaking to people who are doing what's next here in Los Angeles and in the industry as a whole. So we're really excited to share with you this group. They're called UNSHOT, and they actually reached out to me on a separate project. And I asked them, it's like, would you guys be open to basically speaking to me and sharing your experience and your wares on this kind of discussion we're having? And they said, absolutely, sure. So here they are. They're an AI production studio here in Los Angeles called UNSHOT, and it's Alina and Vincent. Alina, take it away. Who you guys are?
Hello, I'm founder of UnShot. We're UnShot, the AI production company. We do everything in AI. We're covering the cinematic, animatics. We are covering broadcast, testing videos, and everything what can come to your mind. We're excited about what we are doing. We are really happy the time we're living in because AI is giving you the greatest opportunity. It's something crazy in real like to be now here and to be able to do what you couldn't possibly be doing like 20 years ago. It's something crazy and so excited. And we are pushing AI to the maximum limits we can see to get the results we will be happy and proud of.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't wait to see the work. I know you guys have some really awesome pieces to share with us. Vincent, let's hear about your background as well.
So I come from the ad world. I've been a creative for many years. I've been the executive creative director for many years as well, different ad agencies, different cities, different countries, mostly here in the US. And I've been doing some experimental work, AI work with Alona for a while, personal work, things that we liked to do, trying to push the boundaries of AI. And a couple of months ago, we started working more together more often. And finally, this month, I just decided to join her 100% and try to build this and try to do things because we're having so much fun. We're talking to so many interesting agencies, so many people that are that like what we do, that want to know more, and we enjoy the conversation. We enjoy working with creatives. We enjoy working with producers. So here we are.
Yeah, awesome. Well, this is great to kind of showcase all the great people that are doing amazing things from Los Angeles primarily, and your work really stood out to me. I think we should start. What do you guys want to start with? I mean, there was one piece that you guys did which I was really blew my mind, and it was right after the Super Bowl. It was as you guys know, I guess we can start with this one. Basically, I'll kind of give a background. So there was obviously if people watch the Super Bowl. There was a Pepsi commercial featuring the Coke Bears. Of course, they probably weren't really identified as the Coca-Cola Bears, but it did, it was a decent spot. Kind of showed like the Coca, that's classic trope of the competitor liking your product essentially. So, but you guys did a really cool like behind the scenes approach, which I thought was brilliant, actually even better than the original spot. So, do you want to share that with us?
Thank you. Yeah, let me share it and then we can talk a bit more about it.
Sure.
Camera rolling.
The challenge wasn't brand recognition, it was performance. This was a blind test, and the reaction was immediate. He took a sip, paused, and you could tell he really didn't like it.
It was exhausting for everyone. The bear's kind of a method actor, and even with that, he couldn't get past the taste.
At that point, we had to be practical. The schedule was tight, the Bears' reaction was honest, but we couldn't use it. So we made a call. We took a Coke can and repurposed it with a Pepsi wrap. And it worked.
It wasn't about tricking the bear. It was about getting the best performance. The can is just a prop. What matters is the emotion. And let me tell you, once he tasted Coke Zero, the magic happened.
It was a bit tough, but we were able to pull it off.
In hindsight, we probably should have done it with AI.
Yeah, that was amazing. What you guys want to share? How you? I mean, when I saw that, I deal with AI all the time and visual effects and that sort of thing, and you actually fooled me, so I thought the people were real. But that's
Yeah,
100% AI,
so
right?
yeah, that was actually 100% AI. Everything that you see in there, the people, the voices, the effects, the music, we wanted to do absolutely everything with AI. And the idea came the moment we saw that Pepsi released their Super Bowl commercial a week before the Super Bowl, and we immediately knew that it was going to be a cultural moment. Therefore, we brainstormed. It took us like, I think the first day we were brainstorming, we were coming up with ideas on how we could be part of the conversation. That's all it is. And we thought that a parody would be the best way to be part of the conversation, to do something fun, light, that people would enjoy, but at the same time, something that would showcase the reality of AI and what you can accomplish when you can use the tools in a certain way. And that's what we tried to accomplish.
So
Hmm.
basically, yes, in every work we are doing, we are putting some limits, like, and this one was, he's like, let's do everything in AI. The sound, the voices, the people, like everything need to be AI so we can showcase this, not just the speed, because I think that it was Thursday when they released the
Hmm.
the Friday, you had an idea already around 5 p.m. and Sunday midday we posted. So it
Wow.
was pretty fast, which when usually it's Vincent the one who's saying that we did it in 2 days, and I'm correcting him. In 2 days, 16 hours a day to people. Let's be
Wow.
realistic. So it's not just about the speed. It's about that. It's more hours we're putting into it, but we're really happy with the result.
We
Yeah.
were also managing the project, so we knew what we wanted. So we didn't have the traditional internal reviews, presentations to clients, because this is not associated at all with any of the brands featured in there, right? Since it was our own personal thing, just a parody for our own AI exercise, then we could do whatever we wanted. And yes, it was long hours for 2 days, but we wanted to be able to go live as soon as possible, because then people would see what we were able to accomplish so fast at the level of perfection that we tried to achieve with the bear. And Alona was in charge of building all the scenes with the bear, everything around it, the acting, and I was in charge of the people. And I wanted to make sure that those were perfect micro expressions, the accents, all those kinds of things we've done in the past. But for this video, we went all in, and we were very, very happy about with the result.
Wow. That's amazing. And so 2 days from basically concept to execution and to posting. That's amazing. Now, I don't want you to get too much into the background of how you guys did it, but if you guys can, but I love the how the technology behind it. Like, did you guys use several different tools for that? Did you guys use any kind of anything else like motion capture or facial capture? Or is it primarily just like, training a model? How did you guys, without divulging too much? I know it's proprietary, but let me know how you guys came up with that
So
roughly.
we do, yeah. We use a bit of when we don't have limits in the tools that we can use, because some clients do say, okay, I would rather use this tool or this tool, or they don't allow certain tools because of some restrictions that they have, internal restrictions. That has a different approach than when we can do whatever we want. And in this case, what we did was we were able to use the most common tools that our
Yeah.
clients are using. So we would be faithful to the result that would be able to accomplish. We use the traditional tools, the VO3. We use the 11 Labs. I believe we use Nano Banana, of course. I don't know what else.
Okay.
Alona, the music we did it with Suno. We've been creating some music with it. Sometimes we go with stock, with effects or with music, but in this case, we just wanted to create everything like that
Yeah.
with
It's
with
really, very common question. We got it a lot, like which tools you used. We were posting the video and we were getting like which tool you used, and it's never one tool. Definitely, it's like a ton.
yeah.
And or for example, the question about the workflow. And in real answer is that it's every
Mhm.
project is different.
Hmm.
So you cannot say you can have restrictions, like yes, we do have restrictions from the agencies, like not using mostly it's not using Clink, not using sedans, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like we have those like limitations.
Yeah.
But it's never one tool. You cannot accomplish like work. You need to jump from one to another. You don't have the stable workflow. You need to be creative how to use tools. You
Yeah.
need to know the tools. That's why you need to be up to date that's why we're constantly trying to produce the work, because you need to know which where are the limits of those.
Yeah.
So when you face something and you need to have a solution, you're like immediately, okay, I can solve it there. You're jumping from one to another, and then in the end of the project, you have a huge list of tools like you use. So when we got a question like, oh, can you share the prompt? Or that's the most fun question. Or can you share the tools you use? Yeah, it's a huge list usually.
Oh, I love it. That's great. Well, that's great. That turned out really well for you guys, and obviously it went like quote unquote viral on LinkedIn especially. So that was really cool. I'm trying to think of what do you guys want to share next? We want to do like maybe your Sea Shepherd commercial. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Sea Shepherd is the brand, it's an organization, and we actually, it was a couple days ago that we were notified by the one show that it had moved on to round two. So we're very proud of it. I mean, hopefully we'll become finalists, and hopefully we can win something with it. The one show it would be a huge milestone for us. We're very proud of the work, and yeah, we're happy to share with you right now. Ian.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out. That's great. What do you, so that turned out really well. What are some of the challenges that you guys had on that? I mean, I mean, that looks like obviously you're developing things that don't really exist, thankfully. But what are some of the challenges you guys had on that particular spot?
Oh, the idea
So
is
this,
the big, I'm sorry. The idea since the
go
beginning
ahead.
was that not to push, like Wesson, he was restricting me in this case. He was saying we need to do them not forced. So all the creatures you see there, they were carefully prompted. So
Hmm.
it's not that you just say, first of all, we dig into the plastic, the pollutions, the percentage which pollutions are affecting the oceans the most. And from out of there, we were going to the creatures we can create from those. So it was not that like, let's create from trash a whale, for example, right? It was like, let's include nets. And then when we worked with Sea Shepherd, they were giving us some directions in terms of which things affecting the most, which were they are catching the most.
Yeah.
And this one in particular is we're very proud of it because this was something that we did originally as an AI experiment. We didn't have a client or anything. It's one of those experiments that we do. And later on, Luna was able to reach out to them, to Sea Shepherd, and they wanted to use it. They told us, "Oh, we love it. We want to use it." And that's when they got back to her about making some changes, making some tweaks, doing things that were relevant for the topic. Therefore, it was quite interesting to work like that. But I also have to say that whenever you're working and building something and doing something, you need to, before you start prompting, before you start working on the computer, you need to think first. You need to know exactly what it is that you want to accomplish. What in this case, what are the creatures? How you want to do it? And then from that moment is when you can go and start prompting. But we don't like to leave things to luck and see how things are going to come out. So that's why we've been doing so many. We were doing in the past, also for fun, but we've been doing so much AI experimentation with things just for our own sake, to learn, to see how things were evolving. And in this case in particular, we were really lucky that
Yeah.
they contacted us and they said, "Oh, you know what? We would like to use it." So we said, "Well, okay, go ahead. It's perfect."
No, that's great. Yeah, that's you mentioned experimentation. I think a lot of your work that you've shared, obviously, because th things are still new and still evolving, but I'd love to see, I think you guys had one piece in there that was, you said it was experimentation. Maybe was it the Timeless by Design one? That was pretty good. You want to share that one too? That was really
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, as far as the world of experimentation goes. Yeah, nice little self promo there. I thought that was it was fun. Obviously, you said it's a couple months old, but that it's good to showcase your wares and your capabilities as well. So, what are some of the challenges with that one? Yeah.
That one that the AI doesn't understand when you say just let's stop the motion around and keep the smoke going, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the tricks come out. You need to find the way to do that. And obviously, it's not that as much as the prompts are important, it's not listening to the prompts
Mm,
most of the time.
yeah.
So yes, you need to. That was the biggest challenge in that case, and that's how we do experimental work. We're like, let's do something complicated, let's do something difficult, because when you see how much you can push, then when you have specific directions from the client, you can accomplish them. You know the way and you know the solutions how to do that. So that one particular, yeah, to stop the drums, to stop everything around and keep the bouncing,
Hmm.
that was the most complicated part, probably.
Oh, it looked like it. I was when I saw that frozen time and moment, I was like, how did they get? I can't wait to see the prompt for that one because the smoke is still going, but the camera's moving through that. Like that was really impressive. Yeah, kudos to however you did that. Whatever. It was crazy.
Yeah, the thing that it was like still, yeah, a few months ago, the work was done. So every time that's what I was telling that you see that, and now obviously we can do the people more realistic, we can do the movements
Hmm.
more real, but I don't think that it's still with the tools now, it's easy to accomplish the time stopping with
Hmm.
some elements keep moving. So it doesn't matter how tools are involved, that particular piece, it's showing the control, and that's what we want to show. We want to show the control we have over AI.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are choosing some difficult experimentation. It showcases how the work is done,
That's
and
fun.
yeah, it sounds like I'm sure it's that's your fun. Okay, good. That's amazing. Okay, I think the last video I wanted to talk about is you guys are delving into the world of vertical dramas now. Do you want to showcase this one? I thought this was pretty interesting as well.
Yes, let me share with you and then we can talk a bit more about it.
Yeah.
You don't belong to him, no matter what they say.
You cannot speak to me like that.
Then meet me where they can't hear.
It's dangerous.
Only if we're careless. Your letters to the painter in Monarch, they're not as hidden as you think.
How could you possibly know that?
Someone who cares for you more than he should told me.
So yeah, tell me the background on that and what's happening here. Are those based on real people or what's going That's great.
No, no, no. It's 100% prompted. So what's been happening in the last 2 months uh, is that we've been working a lot with production companies in vertical micro dramas in a sense that they wanted to do hybrid productions to elevate their microdramas, and we found that it was interesting. We did a few episodes for them, and we found it was really interesting to give it a shot and try one full episode all AI. And this is what it is. This is one of we've created a few shows right now, and this is one of them. 100% AI. We want it to be hyper realistic. Mostly because we want people to be engaged with it without the barrier of, oh, well, am I watching something that it's AI? So we try to be, in that sense, super real with what we do and show those micro expressions, the acting, and everything. And vertical microdramas, it's something that it's just a huge industry that it's exploding massively. And we found an interesting niche, not only in the production of these shows, but also when it comes to branded entertainment, a new form of brand integration in these types of shows. So the brands on their own, they can have their own shows as well to go live. So when you put that together with the distribution that these shows have on the vertical apps, then it obviously enhances the presence of the brand everywhere. So we're still experimenting with this. Like I said, we have a few shows that we're working on. We'll see where it leads, but so far what we've done, we've been very happy about it, and we will continue to explore as much as we can.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's good to see how that's coming to life, and I know that's a whole other arena for the vertical dramas. Yeah, so you mentioned a couple of things. So what else you got on the horizon? That was all great to see, but anything else that we can kind of keep an eye out for you guys?
Things that we've been doing as well has been, well, we started doing some animations as well, or animatics for presentations, but things have been evolving so much that now we're doing a lot of hyperrealism rather than a traditional
Yeah.
animation with cartoons and such. But we still do some sort of animation, and this is the one that I want to show you now. It's a 100% animated video, all with AI. So
Hmm.
let me share with you.
Okay, sure.
In a valley where mornings begin, where daylight gently settles in, small doors open, one by one, as tiny boots step into sun. Along the stream they sift and find bright little treasures, round and kind. Through orchard rows they walk in line, beneath the branches, ripe and fine. They mill and mend and stack with care, with patient hands and time to spare. From field to fire, from earth to stone, each piece is shaped and gently grown. As lanterns warm the quiet town, tomorrow's morning settles down.
Yeah.
So this is the type of animation that we're doing right now. We've done quite a bit. We've done anime as well for again also vertical films. But this one in particular, we wanted to do something that was unique. Alona had this idea. She crafted all the images, and this was the result. I wrote the copy for it. Um,
Oh, wow. So is that more of like a kind of a test case, or is that more of just like a experimental video? I mean, it's amazing, and it looks like it's real stop motion, but is it but it's more like a kind of like more of a kind of a spec piece for you guys?
Yes, it's experimental, and many of the things that you will see work from us, with the exception of what you saw for Sea Shepherd, which is
Hmm.
again part of an experimental work that then someone became interested in it.
Hmm.
Most of the things that we show are our own experiments because the work that we are doing, we usually do
Yeah.
not feature that work unless we got specific permission to
Yeah.
showcase it. It also allows us to show the things that we want to show, in a sense that things that are more challenging, that can showcase a bit the diversity of the things that we can accomplish with different tools, different resources. So that's the reason why we prefer, or we like to share so many experimental things that we are
Yeah.
doing.
That's great. Yeah, it shows what kind of work you'd love to be involved with, and it shows and it really allows you to spread your wings and and show how your capabilities. So yeah, those are great. Any last parting words before we close it down?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. If you wanna bring like the topic of legality, maybe, which is really interesting. Usually, this is Wesson. I would say that he's the one now in the whole AI area, the whole AI sphere, that he has the one of the biggest knowledges about legality of
Hmm.
using AI for the companies and for the videos. He gathers so much information about that
Yeah.
that it's shameful not to use that.
Well, let's
Uh,
talk about that. Yeah, because that's a big
that's a
concern,
big
obviously.
deal.
Yeah, are you learning? Are you training your models on widely known things, or if you have like a proprietary, image or likeness of someone, and are you so? Yeah, if you can kind of talk about your control and authorship and that sort of thing, that'd be great.
Absolutely. It's very tricky because not a lot of people know a lot of things. Not because they don't have the knowledge, but because some things are evolving so fast that
Hmm.
it's hard to catch up with everything that's happening. And some things are still in this limbo or legal limbo where you don't really know. And because we have so much experience with ad agencies and with brands, we understand how tricky these things are. So whenever we see that there's a minor possibility to have any kind of issue, we just default to to use an alternative that would free us from that potential issue. Not to say that everything is 100% safe, same as if you were to shoot something. Sometimes you can have things that, things happen. But in this case, we try to be very safe. We try to, when we work with agencies, we try to reassure them, okay, this is how we're going to be doing this. This is what we would use. We usually don't use models. I mean, the things that we do, you're not training the models based on things that we are doing. We make sure that there's no training with that, and also we try to respect the all the IPs and things like that. Whenever we see something that's like does not
Hmm.
look right, we don't do it. We also like I said before, we don't leave things to pure luck. We don't just prompt whatever and see what comes up.
Hmm.
We try to be very specific about what we want with the purpose of trying to differentiate. So if we are doing a person, whether if it's for a commercial or of our own experiments, we try to give a lot of characteristics of the person, their appearance, the clothes, the environment, so we can, differentiate it. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. If someone's going to come and say, "Oh, I did this, or I did that, or that's me," then we can say, "Okay, well." Same as I mean, years ago, you would see in a movie that I mean, if it looks like someone real, it's pure coincidence. So it's a bit is like that. So we show our prompts, and our prompts are incredibly long. I mean, we think a lot before jumping into the prompts, but our
Hmm.
prompts are really, really long because they are very detailed
Yeah.
in everything that we want to have in there. So we imagine things first, and then once we have it in our mind what we want, the type of product or the person or the environment, the camera movement, all those things we try to have full control or as much as we can so we can get the results that we want and avoid any potential concerns. But I'm by no means an expert in terms of in legal issues with AI or anything like that. But we are forced to kind of know about all those things. We do have the counseling for situations like this, and
Hmm.
we talk to the tools that we use. They have departments that we've been in contact with to discuss what is it that we can do, that we cannot do. So we make sure that we comply 100% with whatever it is that they put on the table for us.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge concern, obviously. A lot of brands or a lot of agencies as well are making sure like how can we not get sued? And making sure that we're, doing things, as legal as possible, which is sounds like you guys are doing. So that's great to hear as well. Yeah.
That's
Uh,
in you. So not there's like Vincent mentioned that there's not a lot of knowledge about that. There's not a lot of precedents about that. There's no cases about that yet.
mhm.
And yes, obviously you don't want to be the one, so you need to be really careful. We had an instances, yes, if you just say in prompt random woman of like 50 years old, you can get any actress you know, and there's a good if you know, but there's might be still famous people that you don't know how they look.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a case, so we try to be pretty careful with that and not get into it. So every time, it depends on the work you're doing. Obviously, if you're doing the testing video, you're doing for internal work for the agencies, it's kind of more loose than if you do broadcast. Then whereas the situation become much more tricky, and you need to be 100 times more careful.
Yeah. Exactly. And I know there's a lot of, there's a lot of concern over the use of AI and commercials. I always kind of use the approach of like, let's use it as a tool and let's embellish our commercials, our spots, our
Well,
execution.
I usually say that yes, if you need to shoot two people talking in the office, don't use AI for that because you can get people looking realistic. You cannot get it's still not there in a way that they cannot be better than real actors. You
Yeah.
can make them deliver things like the our parody. It can be high realistic, but still the actors, they're an actors.
Hmm.
So don't do that. But if you want to shoot somebody climbing the mountain, yes, AI
Yeah.
is for that. You can do it in smart way. We're usually pushing for the smart use of AI as a tool to make the work looking better,
Hmm.
to to get the maximum out of it. But obviously the simple things like the motoric movements, yes, don't use AI for that.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
like when AI is competing with the real people, like a lot of people concerned about that. We something mentioned that, yes, do you need voice actors? You do need. Yes, you
Hmm.
can change their voice, but the delivery you still will use. We will prefer to use them because he's recording himself pretty often.
Hmm.
So behind that is still real people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's, yeah, you can use it as a tool. And I think that's perfect. You guys have a good kind of like a perspective on that and philosophy. So it's great. Well, this has been really great. This is I think we've kind of chatted quite a bit about all things Unshot. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us, Alina, Vincent. So Unshot is an AI production company here in Los Angeles. Thank you guys for sharing your work and capabilities, and we'll make sure we'll put a link to your website in this underneath this post. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for sharing your work, and it was a pleasure chatting with you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Marcos. Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
thanks.
for the
And
invitation and having time with us.
yes, absolutely. And make sure for everybody watching this that you check out ThinkLA and become a member as well. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Take care.